The facial tumours, facial tumours. This is the most important one. It really flies on it. I just love that. Facial tumours.
Thanks.
Put their spikes up. They can't shoot them though. Do you want him to take a photo? Yeah. I'll get out of the photo.
It's alright.
Ants.
It's amazing how they clear it.
But they're just very, very cute. I love their little eyes and pat.
Oh my god.
It's going to be particularly stressful for it because it's going to smell the smells of cats and dogs, which are a predator. So it's just going to be overly stressful for it, and obviously it's already not in a good state, so we don't want to cause more stress. So this vet clinic we have specialises purely in our native animals. Okay, so before we jump in, I'm sure you guys are all over it, but just make sure we keep all hands on this side of the wall. We don't want to stick our hands too close to them, so they can be quite cheeky. And to us, as Mum actually had the devil facial tumour disease. Luckily enough, she didn't actually touch these little guys while they were in her pouch, so they didn't actually get the disease themselves, but sadly Mum did pass away. We do also have Marlin Phoenix in that top, the middle enclosure there. So it's due to that, they're super duper sleepy. They only really wake up maybe to reposition themselves, eat a bit of food, or maybe go to the bathroom, but that is about normal lifespans within the early to mid 20s. So it's a pretty decent lifespan. Really difficult to tell the age of these guys, so we actually have no idea how old they are. Almost impossible to tell, but if they spend their whole life in captivity, an echidna can actually live up to around 50 years. So it's a pretty impressive lifespan. But if it's in the wild, it's only about 15, so there's a very big difference. You can see they're quite quite confident with me because they know that it's dinner time, so they're like, where is it? Where is it? I don't have any. But of course they do have quite a long beak, but their tongue actually gets to around 18 centimetres long, so it's pretty impressive. Because that just means that when they do eat ants or anything like that, they can get absolutely every single one of them. I'm pretty sure I have a couple in here that you guys are welcome to have a look at. Ah, here you go. So you can get a little rough idea of how sharp they are. They're not overly sharp, but if you did hit it with a bit of force, it might be a bit of a rude shock. So there's one there. So pretty much ours is a little bit different to the ones in the mainland, but they are just about the same. It's just ours are a little bit more fluffy because obviously it's a bit colder down here. But these guys are ridiculously strong and they are escape artists on a new level. So whenever you do ever see one crossing a road, just let it cross the road. We've had quite a few people that have seen one on the road and they've taken it here just to this enclosure. It seems like it's impossible to do so. Underneath all this pine bark is like that grating you've got there along the fence line. Most of the fence line is double, I don't know what you call that, a grate or something like that. So it's double walled. So you think it'd be impossible to get out. But how he was actually getting out was he'd go to the corner of the enclosure and he'd kind of put one hand or one claw on each side of the corner and he'd pretty much climb up and throw himself over the fence. And we actually found him out in the carp period. So they do have a pretty incredible lifespan. So they do live about 20 to 25 years in the wild. Captivity can get up to 30. Now they just continuously grow. They don't ever stop growing. So that pretty much means that times you can starve, but it's definitely not the case with the wombat. The oldest living wombat was 31 years old. His name was Patrick.
Patrick.
I highly recommend Google searching it. 40 kilometres per hour, so they can run bloody fast. That's within about 100 metres, but just due to COVID regulations, we're not allowed to. But hopefully once that's calmed down, you will be allowed to. I can see when he felt threatened, he runs straight to his burrow. So his burrow is his main way he protects himself. So the burrows are quite complex. These guys can't sweat, so they need to stay nice and cold. But what Lenny actually does is when he feels threatened, he's going to use his backside as his main way to protect himself. So his backside is really, really hard. It's around the fascia. So it's usually around an inch thick, and when it's fully grown, it can actually get around the size of a dinner plate. But what he'll do is if he feels threatened, he will run back to his burrow and he'll leave his backside hanging out somewhat like a tractor, belly flat on the ground. So that pretty much means what's going to happen is the predator's going to try and go for his back or the back of his head where there's no fascia. And then at that point, what Lenny will actually do is he'll raise his back with such force.
Scrolling around.
That's not beautiful.
The dogs are like, who are you? What are you?
They did right at the last minute.
Not the bottom, the paws.
Oh, his paws, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty enormous. Of course, that will help him dig. They're pretty good diggers.
It's dumb, right?
Yeah, they're quite intelligent. No offense to the koalas.
So we're not just a walnut here. We've got
a proper
avocado.
One. Yeah.
Avocado or larger. Right.
උන් ඇවිද්දී ළඟට එනවානේ කෑම කියලා